The Freak Show, I'm curious because I feel like this answer will change as you like digest the album more and we hear it and everything. But what's your favorite song off of it right now?
Man, anxiety probably.
Yeah.
Anxiety is the one I'm most proud of. It's really raw and real from a really honest human perspective and place. It's like, the subject I'm talking about, and then I'm cutting myself open and pouring it out, revealing, you know, like hard truths about myself. Asking myself tough questions, owning up to, you know.
Thanks for doing this, by the way. I know you're so busy, you got so much going on, but we're excited for it.
Thank
Where are you at right now? I love the backdrop.
Thank you, thank you. I'm at home in New York. I'm downtown, so.
Yeah, I love it. Weather's getting nice. Everything's
Oh
going
man,
well out there.
it's been so nice lately, man. I just walking around every day, spend time in the parks. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Have you figured out your routine yet? Like, have you conquered the subway since moving there? Like, what's the
Yeah, man. I've figured out all the different ways to get around the city, man. From city bikes to subways to hopping in yellows to, but also just walking, man. I just love exploring the city.
Yeah, I mean that's like the best part. Besides walking, like what's your favorite thing to do out there besides like outside of LA? Like what's the one thing about New York that just kind of has your heart right now?
And I mean, it's fascinating. Like people watching, it's a show every single day because it's a city full of characters. There's 8 million stories here.
Yeah,
I love the architecture. I love the food. You can explore this city endlessly and never see it all.
yeah. Do you get stopped a lot? People like there's so many people that do like content on the street, and I feel like just
Yeah,
bumping into G-Eazy would be crazy. It's like, hey, can I
yeah,
talk?
yeah. It's happened. It's happened for sure. But as far as getting stopped a lot, man, I've just found out it's like a New Yorker thing that they just don't, New Yorkers don't trip like that. The most I'll
Yeah.
get is a casual, what's up, Gerald? And keep it pushing. And
Yes.
that's,
So casual. It's like, do I know you?
yeah, right, man. But I saw Chris Rock the other day and it's the same, you know what I mean? People they just can walk downtown and it's nobody really bothers you.
That's amazing. Cool to have you back and like putting out new
Yeah.
music, full album, and in 3 years. Like, what have you been up to? Like in that time, if you had to
Yeah.
synopsis of it all, how's life been?
Yeah, man. I mean, I had to live a little bit. You got to live some life to be able to tell the stories, to be able to find the inspiration, to be able to, get the perspective. I traveled a lot. I spent time in Paris. I spent time in London. That's where, the album really started.
Mm.
I started refining the inspiration. And then obviously moved to New York.
If you had to describe like the new music era, I mean, obviously you're always going to have your sound and what you do, but how would you kind of
Mhm.
explain that next era that we're about to get?
Yeah, man. I mean, sonically, musically, I'd say it's more eclectic. It's more diverse. It's drawing from a lot of my different, influences and inspirations musically. I mean, there's a Clash sample on the album. There's a song with Burna Boy on the album. There's a song with Leon Bridges on the album. It taps into, some of the kind of cabaret, dark circusy, style of music that I was listening to a lot of. That sonically kind of shaped some of the world of Freak Show, whatever.
Absolutely. So June 21st, we'll get Freak Show.
Yes, yes.
By the way, so is dates a big thing to you? Like when you put out something, do you have something in mind? You're
Mhm.
like, my lucky number. There's just you like
Man,
that week.
yeah, yeah, a little bit for sure. But for me, 621 is significant because 623, 2 days later, is the 10-year anniversary of These Things Happen, which was my first album.
Wow.
So, it's just like a victory lap, 10 years, being signed to RCA and being in this industry and getting to do what I love for a living and, the blessings of that, and never taking that lightly or for granted. Grateful that I get to do this every day.
Yeah.
And 10 years is a significant amount of time. And you got to stop and reflect on that. And, and then kind of almost pinch yourself a little bit because, it's tough. It's tough to get in this game at all. It's tough to, to have one moment. It's tough to have a 5-year run, but to have, 10 plus is, it's exciting. It's inspiring.
It just seems like it flew by too, though. Like you're
Oh,
right.
man.
Longevity's crazy, but 10 years, dude, I can't even believe that. It's
Yeah. Nah, that part is crazy. Definitely feels like it flew by. Um,
Love it.
yeah, I feel like it was just yesterday. I was, releasing my first album and going on my first tours, and and now we're here.
Yeah. So Freak Show, I'm curious because I feel like this answer will change as you like digest the album more and we hear it and everything. But what's your favorite song off of it right now?
Man, anxiety probably.
Yeah.
Anxiety is the one I'm most proud of. It's really raw and real from a really honest human perspective and place. It's like, the subject I'm talking about, and then I'm cutting myself open and pouring it out, revealing, you know, like hard truths about myself, asking myself tough questions, owning up to shit, so yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so cool to get to hear a little bit of it and just hear what you're talking about, the growth and like that through the highs and lows and everything. Like, I'd love to see that storytelling. So
Yeah.
congrats on such a like vulnerable album. I can't wait for the world
Yeah.
to hear. Obviously, June 21st, and then the collabs are great too, like you mentioned with Burna Boy, Coil
Yeah.
Ray. You just have such
Yeah.
like some similarities, but also
Mhm.
like you flow so well on a song together. Like, how is working together with her?
Yeah, man. Thank you, dude. Koi is incredible, super talented, and it was an honor to get to work with her. And she just walks on that beat. She just floats, so she killed it.
Hmm. I'll never forget like hearing your music for the first time.
Mhm.
Like the song, obviously, and then just your voice and the way you sound kind of like stops you in your tracks. And I'm curious if
Thank you so much, dude.
absolutely, is there anyone for you that you've kind of noticed that happened? Like, have you heard anyone's music that you're like, whoa, I gotta check it out more, or like
Hmm.
um just a sound that kind of caught you?
Man, shouts out La Russell, man, from the Bay Area, from Vallejo. He's somebody, man. When I first, like got, paid attention, I was like, oh shit, man, damn, he's different. Yeah, he's real
Mhm.
different. He's got a real strong, unique voice.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to him. And shout out to you
Hmm.
for going viral again this year. I mean, I'm sure you've seen all
Thank
the
you,
stuff with
man.
Lady Killers. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what is it to see a song like that get so much love now?
Man, it's one of those full circle, just like, dude, what is life? It's kind of surreal, But you just take it in stride, and you take it with a thank you, a thank you to the universe,
Of course.
however that happened, and just count your blessings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So where are you finding like if you had to think of your creative space for writing? I'm always curious with this. Are you a guy that goes to the studio and you're able to just like get into that mode? Or do you need that time like you're in New York, you go to Paris? Where do you
Yeah.
find creative space
I
for this?
mean, I definitely, if I go into the studio, it's with intention of doing something, and I usually get something done. But my brain's always ticking. It's, I throughout the day, I'll catch an idea, or I'll think of a line, or and I keep in my notes, pages and pages of ideas, and I constantly add to it. So then when I get to the studio, if I'm ever like stumped, it's so easy to just open up the notes and just be like, oh yeah, shit, that idea.
Yeah. I love that. Well, new music on the way. Any new tattoos to report? You get anything new lately?
Yeah. I think I'm getting tatted tomorrow. Me and my brother, who's the executive producer on the album, Jesse Ack, he and I did the whole album together. We're both gonna get a Freak Show tattoo tomorrow.
That's amazing, dude. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
tattoos that you're like, look back? I mean, we talk about music being 10 years. It's crazy. Obviously, you change a lot. Any tattoos that you maybe regret? You're like, man, I just
Oh yeah,
not.
man. Oh yeah. don't uh,
Yeah.
don't give a tattoo gun to a bunch of drunk guys. Having on my birthday party a few years ago. Man, I got some scribbles that I could definitely take back.
Right, right. And then if you had to start over, say your body, blank canvas, what would be the first
Mhm.
thing that you would do? Like the very first tattoo you would go with on your blank canvas of a, skin.
I would probably. I mean, this one is of my mom when
Yeah.
she was young. Um, I would definitely. That's my favorite tattoo. My first and foremost.
Absolutely. I love it, dude. Well, before we wrap, our company Audacy, we do an initiative called I'm Listening, which is all about like mental health and just like maintaining that strong mental headspace. And you prioritizing yours by like, heading to New York and kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that stuff first. What are some other ways that you maintain that good mental health?
Well, it sounds simple, but I think a really, really essential thing and to do, and a part of what I've tried to make into my routine is spending time at a park, like being around some nature. you know, the greenery, you know what I mean? Being around life like that, I think is really essential. Just getting outside and soaking up some sun. And it's, you know, it's simple to do, but just going for a walk and just spending some time in a park is, for me, I mean, it really just boosts my like happiness levels and endorphins and serotonin and all that.
Totally.
Drink a lot of water, man. Drink a lot of water.
That's half the battle too. Water, sunshine. You're halfway there.
And, you know, and obviously that's like oversimplifying down to the, you know, back to the basics. But it's sometimes, you know, we forget the basics. It's like, you know, water, sunshine, and some nature, and it will do you really good.
Throw some music in there, and then you're off to a great start.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, dude, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on the new project. Can't wait for the world to have it, and you know, just love it. So thanks for the time too, letting us know what you're up to. I think you were like one of the first songs ever played on the radio too, which is crazy.
Oh man.
So it's a full circle moment for me too. It's really nice to meet you and get to talk to you.
Yeah, dude. Right on. Thank you so much, bro.